Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome very much, members of the press, to this first press conference of today. My name is Remco Timmermans. I help space companies benefit from the power of social media, and in that regard, I'm running the social media for this event, and I will moderate this session today. With my role in social media, I would like to encourage everybody here, and I know many of you do, to tweet, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever channel you use, to tell the world about what's going on here in Bremen this week. And for that, we have two official hashtags that we would like you to use. Hashtag IAC 2018, obviously, and of course our all-important motto that we'll be talking about a little bit during this press conference, involving everyone. If you could use those as hashtags, that'd be great. You can find me on Twitter as IAC 2018 and as me as Timmermans R. We're a little bit pressed for time, so there may not be a lot of time for questions afterwards, but I would like to point out that if you would like to have an interview or spend a little bit more time with one of our speakers, please contact Emma Huis of the International Astronautical Federation or Annika Teubner, right there, on behalf of the local organizing committee, and they can arrange interviews for you. So without further ado, it's an honor for me to introduce you the main organizers and the main stakeholders of this IAC to you. They will give you some more background on the characteristics of this IAC and the future of this great event. So I would like to ask Dr. Jean-Yves Legal on stage, President of IAF and organizer of IAC, Professor Dr. Mark Avila, the Director of the Center of Applied Space Technology and Microgravity, better known as CHARM, and host of the IAC 2018 in Bremen. And I would like to start with you, but I would also like to introduce the other three speakers that we will have after I talk to Dr. Legal and Dr. Avila. We have Professor Dr. Pascale Ehrenfreund, the Chair of the Executive Board of DLR. We have Dr. Carsten Zieling, the Mayor of Bremen and the President of the Senate, and Mr. Thomas Jatzenbeck, the Coordinator of Aerospace of the German Ministry of Economics and Energy. And you've seen these five people welcome us to Bremen during the opening ceremony. So let me start. Mark, what is your special focus this year as an organizer?
Well, I think our focus is perfectly defined with our motto, involving everyone. This means people from all nations, people from all ages. We focus on young professionals. This means also females. And then we can go on a local scale. This means involving also the whole citizenship of Bremen into this event. So I think space is changing quick. There are new companies, new ideas emerging fast, and that's what we want to pick up. Involve everybody to see the benefits of space and to use the benefits of space.
So talking about this motto involving everyone, we've mentioned it a lot. Dr. Legal, what do you think of this year's theme of involving everyone?
Yes, I think that this theme fits perfectly with what is space today, because what is really surprising is that today space is involved in every field of human activity. And so if you have the opportunity to visit the exhibition, you will see that perhaps the most important is in a space exhibition all what is not related to space but to applications of space. And it is why when people from Bremen proposed this motto involving everyone, we thought that it was perfectly adapted to what is at stake today in the space field.
Thank you very much. Mark, we just heard that there's 3,600 scientists present at IAC, so how do active scientists like yourself rate the IAC in comparison to other conferences in your field? So what role does IAC play from your perspective as a scientist?
Well, the IAC is an excellent scientific conference, no doubt, but besides this, I think the main benefit is that engineers, scientists, but also companies come here to IAC, so we have a much broader exchange of ideas than you have in a regular conference. So you have the same level of science, extremely high, especially this year where many aspects had to reject it, because many more people want to come to Bremen than we can actually accommodate. And I think that this is the big difference, is the networking, not just with scientists, but with a very broad spectrum.
Thank you. And Jean-Yves, you mentioned it in your introduction speech, the enormous ambition that IAF has with this event. The IAF has evolved enormously in the past years with new initiatives and expanding its reach to a truly global community. So where do you see the IAF in 20 years from now?
To be honest, I don't see it, but this is what makes the situation exciting. And it is why during the last years we adapted a lot the IAF with a keyword which is diversity, because we wanted to have people in IAF coming from everywhere in the world. It was not the case, you know. We wanted to have people coming from with young people, and this is all the meaning of the agreement we signed with GIC. And we have also a question of gender, because I didn't see enough ladies in the bureau, and so we tried to correct that, and I hope that in the coming years, finally, we will have for the first time a lady president of the IAF. In my opinion, if we succeed, it will be a big achievement for me as today president of IAF, because I do repeat, diversity is a key word of what we have to do if we want that the IAF continues to develop.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Nagal, Dr. Avila. I would like to hear a little bit more about the local perspective, the Bremen perspective and the German perspective. So I'd like to invite Dr. Ehrenfreund, Dr. Zieling and Mr. Jatzomek to join us on stage here. So thank you very much for joining us here. Again, congratulations on a really good, great start of this conference this morning in the opening ceremony. I would like to start with Dr. Zieling. Bremen is the German city of space this year. What role does the IAC 2018 play for Bremen and in the year of space?
We are not just the city of space in this year, but year for year, and so the IAC is very important, of course, for us, because we have the chance to show what kind of competences we have in the science sector and in the companies as well. And there are different ones, and we are doing research and producing in different fields in Bremen.
Thank you. Dr. Ehrenfreund, space in Germany is facing big missions this year. Horizon's mascot, in fact, during this conference, we'll hear a lot about mascot. EU Cropus. What does ELR want to demonstrate as a research organization and space agency, specifically here at IAC?
Well, in particular, we're going to present with our partners how we are completing these really great missions. So as you said already before, MASCOT is a cooperation between JAXA and CNES, so the Japanese and the French Space Agency, and DLR is providing a lander, and when everything works well, it will actually descend to the surface in the night of the 2nd of October. And we will be very happy, you know, in order to announce the results. So that's really, really perfect. We also have an in-flight call with Alexander Gerst, who is now 6 months in space and has done incredible experiments, which we are also showcasing at our DLR booth. Many of those experiments are really very important, also for terrestrial applications. We are with NASA on the way, and also CNES on the way to Mars. And we are showing, of course, also these instruments and how we are working. And there's also Eucropis, which is do we have to change? Okay. And there's also Eucropis, which is a mission which we are going to launch with NASA. It's a satellite that will use a closed life support system in space under Mars and room gravity in order to be able to grow tomatoes and work as a life support system. And we are also introducing our first images from our hyperspectral Earth observation instrument from the International Space Station, DASIS.
Thank you. And I would like to highlight that all these great things meetings. Many of these happen during the public day on October 3rd, so if you wouldn't mind mentioning that, we would like to have a lot of members of the public, members of the audience, the local population, to join us here on Wednesday to witness some of those great things that Dr. Infron just mentioned. I would like to move to Mr. Jatselbeck. Yeah, I was looking the wrong way, excuse me. What is the current standing of Germany in the international space sector?
So now it's on. Ignition for the microphone. So let me first make a remark. I'm not only coordinator for the ministry, I'm coordinator for the whole government. But my office is in the Ministry for Economics. And so where are we standing? I believe in institutional space we're pretty good. Pascal Ehrenfreund mentioned a lot of successful examples where we are working on and what we achieved. The Columbia module, Alexander Gerst is making a pretty good job, and in Germany a lot of people very excited about space just these days because of Alexander Gerst, and traditionally we are strong on satellites with cooperation and launchers. But on the other side, I think the challenge for all the governments and for every country is the challenge of new space. So how to enable new players in the market? How can we open up a platform economy, an ecosystem? And I think we made pretty good steps with the open data strategy from Copernicus, for instance, from the European Union. And we need to scale that up for furthermore, because we need new players in that economy. As we are standing here in Bremen, we have a new player, a new old player with OHB, so it's also possible for SMEs to engage in the space market, and we need more of that.
Thank you very much. Going back to Dr. Zieling, to look specifically at the projects that are happening here in Bremen, because many of these space missions are actually developed in this very city. To which current space project in Bremen would you recommend the IAC to draw the world's attention?
The first one, I think, is the Orion project, which is done with Airbus, and there on the planet. It's a very important one because it's cooperation with NASA, and we really expect things going on there. And of course, Ariane 6 is developed here as well, and this is very important as well. Mr. Jatselbeck was mentioning OHB. This is really a very specific thing, because you don't find any other place where Airbus and the OHB is in one town, in one place, and they, of course, they have competitive relations, but they are cooperating as well. And we do like to improve, and we do improve it through our institutes. ZAM is in these days the famous one here, but we have research institutes like DFKI. They do work with robotics and other things. So we see this picture that makes it really, or makes Bremen to a strong place. And you were mentioning the public. If you walk around through the town, you see that the people are really living with space. And I'm very optimistic that on Wednesday we see a lot of people over here, especially from the population of Bremen.
Can you give us a quick number of how many people are employed in space? How many families depend on space in this city?
We have about 12,000 people who are employed in space, and so many families are concerned there. But a lot of these employees are coming from outside to Bremen, because it's a very international thing, and people from Bremen go to other places. So that makes us international and open to the world.
Someone mentioned in the opening ceremony that Bremen might be the biggest space city in the world. Does any one of you know whether that's indeed the case?
This week.
This week for sure, yes.
Okay, we have to talk about it.
Okay, we'll leave that one for you to Google. Dr. Ehrenfreund, you mentioned Horizons and Mascot. What is the current status of both missions, and what role does international cooperation play in these missions? Giving us a little preview of what's going to happen maybe on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think international cooperation is really a key to success, and we show that in particular at this conference. The IAF has 320 members out of 68 countries, and I think 90 countries are here. And this shows you already that many of the endeavors we actually do together because we exploit worldwide expertise. So for the JAXA mission Hayabusa 2 and the drop of mascot, that will happen at 4 o'clock in the morning on the 2nd of. So for everybody who is at the German night, you can just stay awake and then just directly go to the press conference. We don't know what's going to happen. But it is a really perfect international cooperation between JAXA and CNES, and we have practiced that before, and we will practice that in the future. And we also mentioned the International Space Station. The International Space Station is the greatest international project of all times. And people work there also in when there are political tensions. Scientists work there and collaborate on projects. Alexander Gerst has 65 experiments. Many of them are together with German industry and German research institutions, but many of them are international. So all the astronauts in the International Space Station work together internationally on those experiments. So that, I think, that is also something a very important theme, of the IAC, why we always all come together and try to create new partnerships.
Thank you. And in line with that, we see a lot of action in Germany, with having maybe the biggest space city in the world, having definitely the attention of the world this week for these endeavors. Through DLR. Mr. Jansenbeck, in what direction does Germany intend to expand its activities in this sector in the future?
Maybe one word to Bremen. I said in my speech that Bremen is maybe the most spacified city in the world, because I don't believe the question is not how many employees are here, how many engagement is in the city compared to all the rest. And I believe that this has a very, very strong position here in Bremen, also in competition to all the other branches. For our government, our space strategy is now 10 years old, and now we're working on a new space strategy. And so to go through the fields, the first thing is that we will have a look at the launchers. Ariane 6, you have seen it when we were walking around here. Ariane 6 is in a very hard competitive situation to SpaceX, so we need a huge jump in innovation in Ariane. The second thing is when it comes to the Raumfahrt, to the Raumfahrt with people, we're very interested in projects around the Lunar Space Gateway. Question is, can we engage ourselves there on eye level, and how will the concept in detail look like? A further thing is application-based space, so we will further develop all our activities around satellite businesses, but also a question about data, how can we do more with space data? I think this is the most important question, and in the end, the institutions we have are very strong. It's very impressive what DLR made with its 8,500 employees. Also ESA is very strong, but the question will be how can we get all these organizations more agile? And so we will have a deeper look on the organization, how can they also be a better player in a platform economy. And in the end, in Germany, we are making a new law next year, the space law, and it will come up to all these points of mining on asteroids, and mining on the moon, and also the question about insurance for all the activities in space.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Jansenbeck. And our other guests, I've been informed, Mr. Jan, that you would like to do a short presentation of some of the highlights of this IAC.
Okay, so thank you. Perhaps in a few words, what you can see during this week, because this week the IAC delegates are offered a plenary program featuring 7 plenaries, 3 highlight lectures and 1 late breaking news, and it will be the landing of Mascot. We have a technical program with 2,000 oral presentations, 480 interactive presentations and keynote lectures. And moreover, we will have for the first time this year special sessions which are in-depth workshops, and it will be also quite interesting. We will have also our usual global networking forum with 40 events, and today what we call the GNF, the Global Networking Forum, represents one of our federation's most successful endeavors involving stakeholders, policymakers, and decision makers. Another point which is also of interest is the exhibition, because we will have 100 exhibitors from industry, space agencies, research centers, universities, associations, and space societies. And as I said, we will have a number of companies which use space just for applications, and this is very interesting. This year, the public day will be Space is Big, Space is Public, and it is promising to be one of a kind. On the 3rd of October, which is the National Day in Germany, the IAF and ZARM invite you at the IAC 2018 Public Day to meet and experience high-level representatives from science, politics, and industry. And we will have also, as Pascal said, a live call with Alexander Guest in the International Space Station. So this is what we are going to do this week. A point which is also important, as I stated in my introduction, is 3G IT Diversity Day, and it will be as well on the 3rd of October. We will have the ID breakfast focusing on the very young generation. We will have a luncheon presenting the IAF Excellence in 3G, and it is my pleasure to announce that this year it will be the Space Generation Advisory Council, our partner organization, which will get this very prestigious award. And finally, the Diversity Afternoon, organized in cooperation with and with participation of ESA, SGIC, and Women in Aerospace Europe, which will focus on gender and generational diversity. To conclude, a few highlights not to miss. Today at 1:30, the usual heads of agencies plenary, and the theme of this year is involving everyone, what's new for the space agencies. It will be quite interesting. Tomorrow evening, a highlight lecture on the growing role of artificial intelligence, which is a hot topic and probably the best way for innovation. And on Friday, the late breaking news on Hayabusa 2, Mascot, and Minerva 2 to learn more about the origin and evolution of the solar system. Before closing, I would like to stress the importance of this year theme involving everyone. Let this not just be words, let this be a reality. During this week, let us all work together in order to maximize and promote the utmost importance of diversity throughout the world, and specifically within spacefaring nations. And I would like to say also that in addition to the incredibly rich program the IAC 2018 offers, this major event is also the occasion for all of us to get to know each other better and to exchange. I would like just to conclude with a point. I'm very fortunate because I had the opportunity to participate in all the IAC since 1992. In 1992 it was in Washington DC, and we will be back to DC next year to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the first human landing. And what is very surprising for me is that year after year the IAC is bigger. This year we are now beyond 6,000 participants. It's very huge. A few years ago, nobody could imagine that we will reach this level, and we are going to continue to develop. The objective is very soon to pass the mark of 10,000 participants. It seems to be a dream, but in space we used to say that the dream is alive. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Monsieur Legal. Now we are stressed in time a little bit, but we have about 5 minutes time for some questions. So I would like to invite my panelists back on stage, and I will hand you a microphone. If you have a question, if you would like to state your name and your association, please, then we can answer a few of your questions, about 5 minutes. So, anyone a question over there? Yeah, Peter, yeah, please.
Hi,
Join you on stage.
I'm Irene Fox with Aviation Week. I just was curious of the 90 countries that are here, if there's any new participants in IAC.
In IAF, we have up to now 343 organizations. It's very easy to remind, it's 7 to the cube. I like numbers, and 7 to the cube, it's 343. So at the end of the IAC, it will be more, but 343, and we have 69 countries, and it is clear that we have 15 more countries which are not still a member of the IAF, but we will be a member of the IAF very, very soon.
Any more questions? Over there?
Hello, I'm Alice Candelian from Bremen, family rooted in team. I would like to know if Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are attending here. Is anything planned? And regarding the referendum you signed today, would it be recognized by everybody as a must, or how does it work from the legal point of view?
As you know, Elon Musk attended the 2 last congresses in Guadalajara in Mexico 2 years ago and in Adelaide last year. And from what I heard in the press, I think that he's now already in space. About Jeff Bezos, we don't have any plan, but we have other very, very prominent speakers from the European Space Community. The other question?
You signed today the
Yes.
Yeah. So is it going to be recognized by everybody, or?
I hope so, because when we sign an agreement, we sign it on behalf of our organizations, and we thought that the topic we addressed this morning is something which is quite important at the time when we speak about constellations of satellites and so on. So space awareness is quite important, and this is why we decided to sign an agreement on this topic.
Hello, I'm Peter Schneider, freelance. You said the government is planning a space law next year. It's quite late, actually. How important is space for the federal government? I mean, there are 4,000 people here. Isn't it a reason for Mr. Altmaier to come here?
Yes, it's a reason for me to come here, and it's a reason for us to make a shift in our politics. Yes? And when you listen to what I said, there is a lot of initiatives we are planning. And I don't think that the space law is the center of the activity. The center of the activity is more what the government's doing inside ESA, inside the European Union programs, inside DLR, inside all the initiatives we are talking about. So this is the center of our activity. The space law is meant on the question, so how can you do mining on asteroids or on the moon? And the second question is, what about an insurance that you maybe need for your activities you're doing there? And I don't think that these 2 questions are so emerging that we need this law this week. And when I said next year, that means in 2 months we're starting. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. We've got time for one last question. Anyone? No? If not, then I would like to thank you very much for your time. I would like to thank you very much for your time, and I wish all of you, all of us, a very good IAC 2018. Thank you very much.